You 13 years old. Why is you at this pimp house, bro?
Because I gotta make my money. I gotta make my money no matter what. I don't give a fuck what you put on. I gotta make my money no matter what. You talking about an air tag. I'm out here just trying to get paid. You don't do nothing for me. You don't do anything for me. So when I come out here and try to make my...
At a hole. Come on, man. You out here and you ain't even... You think this is okay?
When I don't fucking start my money. Stop.
I'm not stopping
your money, bro. Mama, I make my money out here. You fucking up the spot. You blowing the spot up. Get the go.
That's all I'm saying. Like, there's other ways to get money and go about shit, bro.
You don't buy me nothing. You don't buy me nothing.
I gotta buy you nothing. So that's why you
I need clothes, shoes,
that's why you at this
hair.
man house. You my 13-year-old.
I be hungry. When I come here, I don't be hungry.
Really though? That's so nasty.
Go.
It's so all over the place,
Blowing
bro.
up the spot, gang.
Your family members they see you. They don't like seeing you like this, bro. They don't like seeing. Why is you going in a cut for?
Because you
Who all over there? Who all over
blowing
there?
up the spot.
You 13 years old. Why is you at this pimp house, bro?
Because I gotta make my money. I gotta.
Shalom. I'd like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect. My name is Conwag from Great Millstone, Toronto, doing this lesson. And it's going to be in regards to this 13-year-old girl. Her father was he basically videoed the whole thing that that his 13-year-old daughter, she's selling herself, right? And that's wicked, because these women really, at that age in the Bible, these women were supposed to be married. These young ladies, these young women are supposed to be married to their husband, right? And that's always been our custom. But now, in this Western society, these underage women are into the whole sex industry. They're being that they're being pimped by these pimps, by these the adult industry, right? It's completely wicked, man. And I didn't really want to go too long, but these young women are really supposed to be married, like to their husband, because back in the day we had arranged marriage, right? That's always been our custom. You could read about Isaac, right? Abraham basically did like he gave Isaac his wife. His wife was Rebecca, right? And it was like a marriageable it's a marriageable thing of consent, right? That when you read about let's get it, Isaac, where it says that Isaac knew his wife. Let's play Isaac knew his wife. Knew his wife. Yeah, so okay, Genesis 24, let's get it. In the blue there, Genesis 24. Yeah, so Isaac marries Rebecca, right? You read that verse, Genesis 27, 24. But this is going to be, because Abraham, he used his servant to, to get Rebecca, right? So let's read verse 67 and Genesis 24, 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebecca, and she became his wife. So he took her, Isaac, he had sex, right, with Rebecca, right? And that's how that marriage was ordained, right? And she became his wife and loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So like this is when Sarah died, right? Um, you know, and that's why also in Genesis where it says when it reads about Adam, right? It says that that it is not good that a man should be left alone, right? So he took her rib, so his rib was next to his, that the rib is not the actual rib, it's referring to his kinsman, right? Right, and that's how when Eve and Sarah, sorry, Evic and Evic and Adam, right? They they knew each other, right? Right, so they had sex, right? The same thing what happened with when you read Romans 2, right? The seed of David. So seed of Romans 1 and 3, concerning his son Yahushua our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh. So I mean Joseph and Mary, they had sex, right? Because they say that Joseph might have been in his 30s or 40s, and then Mary, she might have been maybe around 12 or 13, right? So she was a young woman, right? And it's gonna go back to that, right? We are gonna have young wives that's gonna be virgins, like these women are not gonna be passed around like how they are now, right? Because this is the society that Esau has set up, man. Right, so this is off the AI overview. Marriageable age in the Bible, right? The Bible does not explicitly specify a minimum number of age for marriage. Instead, it focuses on physical and social and maturity. Historically and culturally, ancient Jews tradition ex, 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 except expectation expected individuals to be physical and mature enough for childbearing, generally falling between the onset of puberty and early adulthood. Yeah, because you see that guy, he's upset because because his daughter is being out there sleeping around with all different men, right? And at that age, she's telling herself I'm like she's 13, right? And she could be, like she's exposed, she could, like she could contrast, sorry, she could contract, all the different diseases, like she could be killed in her line of work. So back in the day, like back in the Bible, right, in our time, in the biblical times, these women are really supposed to be married at a young age. So it's an ancient Jewish traditions, right, which are not Jewish, right? Ancient Jew tradition. It says rabbinical tradition suggests that girls who was generally marriageable age at 12, while men were typically considered ready between 18 and 24. So really, these these young women are really supposed to be married until they're man, right? Unto a man that able to sustain himself and to sustain his wife, right? And that's always been our tradition, right? And let's get Deuteronomy 22:24. Deuteronomy 22. Is it? Yeah. So let's do Deuteronomy 22. Let's put it in the let me see what's going to say in the NLT. Deuteronomy 22 and 28 suggests a man has intercourse with a young woman who is a virgin. So a virgin, she never had sex before, but is not engaged to be married. If they be discovered, right? So if you get a young woman, right, and you deal with her and she's a virgin, right, you're really supposed to pay the father 50 shekels of silver, right? And that was a lot of money, over like a 50 shekels now. Let's see, the 50 shekels. Let's put it 50 shekels. In modern times. Yeah, cause that's a lot of money. So 50 shekels of silver, it says, depends on whether or you mean modern Israel's currency or ancient biblical weight. Suggests that to be brought 16 to 17 USD, says $350, right? But I'm sure that's even more, because it says biblical shekels. If you are referring to the biblical unit of measuring, it said mentioned in historical and religious texts. Deuteronomy 22, meltdown value. A biblical silver shekel is rough 11 to 12 grams. If you have 50 shekels by modern spots, prices of raw silver is around 300 to 400 USD. Yeah, cause that's a lot of money, man. Right? So these women, right? These fathers are really supposed to marry, a man, a man that knows himself, that knows the Heavenly Father, and sell his daughter off, right, to her future husband. It says he must pay her father 50 shekels of silver. Then he must marry the young woman because he have violated her, and he may never divorce her as long as he lives. So that's gonna go back to that, man. Right? We are gonna have a young woman, right? Young woman that's ripe, right? That's exactly what it's gonna go back to. It's gonna go back to that. Let's get Sirach, book of Sirach. Sorry, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 24 or 26, sorry. This is a very good chapter, right? Sirach 25, 26 has, very good chapter that goes into woman, the mindset of woman, right? So let's get Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 26 verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thy own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So when you see a woman, right, and she's a virgin, or she's signal she's single and she doesn't have a husband, you could betroth her, right? And you could deal with her, right? And then you could start your family. You could start your legacy, man, right? So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having having the confidence of their good descent. A harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a marriageable woman is as the tower against death to her husband. Right? So, like that's what these women are really these fathers are really supposed to be marrying off their daughter. Right? A wicked woman is a gift as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is a gift to him that fear the Lord, right? So these women, they're not that these 99% of these women, they're not God fearing, right? And they're totally out of order, man, right? So a dishonest woman counteth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. A shameless woman will be counted as a dog, but she that is shameless will fear the Lord, right? So some of our women now, there are some Israelite women who's trying to do the right thing, right? Which is good, right? Keep doing your thing, right? If you're single, right? And you're watching our videos, you could contact, a brother, you could contact a brother out there, like through his channel. But it's gonna, when all hell's gonna break loose, like that's what's gonna happen. Where a lot of these women, they're gonna come out they're gonna come out the damn, that they're gonna come out there and they're gonna be looking for the so-called Israelite man, right? Let's get the Isaiah, I believe 13. Isaiah 13, let's put it in the so I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, right? And that's going to happen. The Lord is going to make us like precious. All right, let's get an NLT, right? And and like that's going to happen, right? Because when all hell's going to break loose, the only people that's going to be able to go through the fire, right, is going to be the elect. Right, the 2/3 are not gonna be able to like to go through the fire, because remember it says that wisdom and knowledge are gonna be subdued over our time. So Isaiah 13:12, I will make people scarce than gold, right? So no, that was pretty much it. But let's let me put it in the King James. Yeah, there's another one I was about to bring up. Yeah, Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah 4. Let me put it in the NLT. I will, in Isaiah 4:1, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name. Let us take your name, so we won't be mocked as old maids, right? So they're saying that right now in the society, to one man, right, there's 100 women, right, that are single men, right? So so right now, a lot of these women, right, that we see, right, a lot of them are gonna be clinging onto an Israelite man, right, when all hell's gonna break loose, right? So like we're approaching that time, man. Right, so I'm gonna play the rest of this video, and so with that, let's say all praise is due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Kodash, double honors the apostle, a great millstone, of whom I learned this truth from. Peace and blessings to the lecture.
Years old. Why is you at this pimp house?
Because I gotta make my
You 13 years old. Why is you at this pimp house?
because I gotta make my money. I gotta make my money no matter what. I don't give a fuck what you put on. I gotta make my money no matter what. You talking about an air tag? I'm out here just trying to get paid. You don't do nothing for me. You don't do anything for me. So when I come out here, and try to make my
At a hole. Come on, man. You out here and you ain't even. You think this is okay?
when I don't fucking start my money. Stop.
I'm not
You
stopping your
starving,
money, bro.
Mama. I
But
make my
everything
money
you
out
doing is
here.
not it.
You fucking up the spot. You blowing the spot up. Get the go.
That's all I'm saying. Like, there's other ways to get money and go about shit, bro.
You don't buy me
13 years old.
nothing.
13
You
years
don't
old
buy
girl.
me nothing.
I gotta buy you nothing. So that's why you
I
at this
need
man house.
clothes, shoes,
That's why you at this man
hair.
house. You my 13 year
I
old.
be hungry. When I come here, I don't be hungry.
Really though? That's so nasty.
Go.
It's so all over
You
the place,
blowing
bro.
up the spot,
Your
gang.
family members they see you. They don't like seeing you like this, bro. They don't like seeing. Why is you going in a cut for?
Cause you
Who
blowing
all
up,
over there? Who
you
all over
blowing
there?
up the spot.
Oh, yeah, that's like Slacky. I have to do this one verse. Exodus 21, I believe. Is it Exodus 21? Is it Exodus 20? Sorry. Put it in the King James. One second. Where it says her food, her raiment. Food. I think it's in Exodus, Slovakia. Says her food, her raiment. What, another wife. Oh, sorry, another wife. Yes, so Exodus 21 and 10. If he take him another wife, so you're able to have more than one wife, not like how it is in this kingdom. Her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish, right? So you have to have her, like, you be able to provide her food, clothing, right, and provide her sex, right? That is a part of the contract of marriage. She will not be diminished. So these young women are really supposed to be married unto a man, that's able to sustain himself and sustain his wife, right? Providing food, clothing, and sex, right? So with that, that is our praise due to how Bashim and Shai Bashim Kakodah. The bunch pass a green millstone. Peace and blessings to the lecture.